What's up, my friends? Welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. As you see, we're here with Aroden, Alistair, Wynn, and Morrigan. It might look a little different, but today we're actually going to tackle the codexes, some of the codexes at least, and I'm going to go over here to the summoning sciences thing and take care of that as well, and then the glyph, what is that? The warding thing for the two-handed sword that we attempted to complete already. So we're going to do that, and with these episodes here, they're going to be like a bonus type of episode, so they're not going to be like a main one that you get every other day. It's going to be in between, kind of on the day off. I'm going to throw these little codex episodes in with some side stuff just to clear it out, so it's not affecting the whole main episode days. So without further ado, let's go ahead and walk over there. But if we're careful, we can get some dialogue here, right?
Do you think the tower is ever going to get back to what it was, Wynn?
I don't know. A great number of people died. It will be difficult to imagine rebuilding, with that cloud hanging over everything for many years to come.
Do you think you'll be there? To help rebuild, I mean, once this is all over with.
I cannot say. Even if I survive this blight, I am a very old woman, Alistair.
Why? Because of some grey hair? You are a formidable woman, Wynn. You could see that it happens.
I think you overestimate the number of years I have left. But perhaps you are right. Or perhaps the memories of what happened there will be too strong for me to face.
I have a hard time believing that.
Well, it's good to have someone that believes in me so. Now, if I could only feel the same way myself, that would be something.
Wynn, the surrogate mother. Okay, let's get over here. I'm gonna do Liliana's bullshit after kind of on my own here, because I need to take her back through all this stuff and loot everything. But let's go ahead and click on this damn door. So these guys are completely fighting still with us. That's cool. Alright, let him get some space. Let's get in with Allie. Debuff him a little bit. Or, there we go. As long as we lock him down, he won't kill the other mages. Holy shit. I think we just got friendly fire to death there. Alright, Alistair done. Our whole team is done. This is not going well, friends. Can we do this? No. Well, that's one of them down.
As you wish.
Inventory overload? Wait, what? Are we over encumbered here? Alright, so let's go ahead and read some of this. In the company of monsters, he went down the empty wolf roads after the dragon, to the lands where the ice is still steel, and the air grows thin as a beggar, and every rocky path is strewn with the bones of the lonely dead. There Dane dwelled, and 50 swords were worn to rusted ruin. Before at last they found the cave of Fenshal, ancient keeper of the mountains, bane of wolves. Bane sought a way in which the dragon might be felled. Fiend of fire and talent it scales, brighter than any warrior's mail, teeth greater than men. And all around the slumbering worm were bones, wolves, men, beasts beyond counting. The fume of death frightened even the wolf packs, and Dane, desperate, crept into the cavern to seek the monster's death alone. There, shining among the dead like a star, his hand found a sword, Yaceris, forged by a dwarf smith for the Alamari lords long ago. Waiting age after age to be taken to battle once more, and this Dane freed from the earth and struck at the eye of the dragon, still sleeping, with a swift, terrible blow, and Fenshel woke, wroth, only to die. From Dane and the Werewolf. The legend of the blade Yaceris predates Andraste, the sword that Dane found in the dragon's treasure hoard, which used to slay both Fenshel and the werewolf, was passed on to his father Hafter. Dane may have been fiction, but Hafter was fact. In 140 Divine, he led the Alamari tribes against the Darkspawn that flooded into Ferelden Valley from the Dwarven lands. He not only drove back the horde, he also then defeated the combined forces of the Avars and Chasyn, who hoped to take advantage of the chaos. His victories earned him such respect from the tribes he was named the first Terran. After years of ruling in the Valley of Peace, it is said that Hafter left Ferelden, sailing into the unknown east of Amaranthian Ocean, with the blade still in his hand, never to be seen again. But how the hell did the blade end up here then? Right? Does that even make sense? We need to go down to quest related. Summoning science here, because I don't remember this shit. Okay, apprentices are allowed and expected to willfully direct a minor spirit, provided it is within the protective confines of the library. Placement of the shelves allow for passive immobilization and the emergency purging of any rogue entity. Take care this exercise is not to be enacted during maintenance or other disruption of library structure. The danger pressed by an incorrect summoning practice, exercise 3, is extreme. The summoning sigil will ignite the ruin. Okay, let's see if I can remember this, because... What do you say we get the hell over there?
This should be easy enough.
Inventory's full. You! Let's go ahead and just throw some shit away. Okay, did we get Yaceris? Yeah, buddy, it's really not that great. It's not even... Hell. It might be better than what we have, actually. Damn, is indeed better than what we got. Oh, we can wear Starfang. What is the point? Starfang is the freaking best. Cool. Anyways, let's get over here and press these damn buttons.
Come on, you've rested enough. We need to get these out of the tower before they get fragrant.
Touching those abominations. It's wrong.
Someone has to do it.
Why do we have to take them across the lake to burn? The lake's right there.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, Templars. I done mopped them up. You clean it up. Alright, we're gonna put these... Let's get our little haste thing on. Put everyone on hold. What do you say we go ahead and press some buttons, huh? I can vaguely remember majority of it. Kinda. And then, I think it's this one.
Right.
Easy peasy. Garnet. Let's see. Do we have to hit it again? I don't... You know what we do. Please. Maybe we don't. I don't remember. Wait, it's this side, isn't it? Yeah, it's this side first. This time. It was the uncommon calling. Maybe not. Hold on, now I'm confused. Let me look at the journal here. Exercise 2. Address the summoning font. Uncommon calling, yes. Magnus Gorvish, and then the flame. Yeah, I was right. And then... there we go. See, that's the one you unleash on a damn world. Unfortunately. Wait, is this? We didn't even get the reaching quest. We did it without the reaching. Oh god. Hold on here. Let me look. Wait. Look back at the journal. Because that was exercise 2. We got summoning font. The one with, yeah, Grand Bestiary here. The Grand Bestiary. Then trace the chosen sigil. Then place the lock of hair between the chosen sigil. Where do we trace it at? Here it is. And then place the lock of hair between Spirit and Lenthius. Okay, and that's over here. Oh shit. What you doing, Morgan? You manhandle me. And then this one now was the magnum opus, right? Magnum opus, and then Novus Phylactery, and then open it up. So magnum opus is here, or magnum gorish, whatever it is.
On it.
And then Novus Phylactery.
Right.
And then we do this here, right? What's up, big guy?
This should be easy.
Go ahead and mighty blow him. Or don't. Well. Eat it, sucker. Freaking wrecked, my friends. Alright, now let's see if we can... That... The first one was... the tome. And then we hit that. But then it was the second one now. And the second one was... Hold on. I'm getting it here. The second one was... Common Calling. Now we go back over here to Magnus. Okay, once we go to Magnus, he learns, and then we come back and trace the sigil. I got it. This one. Then back over here and we trace it. Now it was The Spirit, Magnish. Hold on. Spirit, Magnus, Phylactery. And then we go over the other one. So, Spirit. Magnus. Phylactery. And then go over here and this is the hidden one.
Oh, this is rather awkward, what? I'm not supposed to be here. Not right at all.
Well, you're right here, pal. Okay. Now let's look at the journal. So we don't have anything for the circle tower. The circle tower is completely done now, friends. Alright. Get everyone off hold. Let's go ahead and level up Wynn real quick, and then we're going to tackle some of these damn codexes here. Let's see. You know, I want to get Crush in prison with Wynn. So we'll keep working towards Mana Clash. And that should be fine. Alright, let's look at the most, look at the, some of the most codexes that I think's important. We're not going to need to tackle all the damn codexes, obviously. But at least now, what I do want to do first, hold on here. What I am going to do first is, let me see if I sold them garnets, which I hope I did not. Because I still want to do that quest. If I did, then we're not going to be able to do that quest. We did not sell them, which is good. We only got 3 so far. Interesting. Because I'm kind of thinking about doing most of the quests again. So we'll have to go back to Denerim at some point and pick up some more quests. But what I want to do is, because I didn't read the stuff. What the hell's... There it is. Because I didn't read the stuff, we're going to go ahead and browse through it. So find 5 Banister, Scrolls of Banister, and return to the Mage's Collective, obviously. Well, we're not going to get the same writing of it again because it's different. Go through remaining homes and accuse the Blood Mage relatives in Denerim. Select the front door of each home and smear the vial of goat's blood on it. Once our 4 homes are marked, return to the collective. Okay. Find and activate the rest of the mystical sites of power located in the Brazilian Forest, the Deep Roads, Denerim, and Circle Tower. Track down and stop a small group of adventurers from giving false testimony of alleged blood magic. Find 3 apprentices and give each of them notice of termination. Alright. Travel to the Brazilian Forest and slay a couple of Maleficarum. So that was the ones we just skipped over in the Chanter's Board one. Return 9 samples of Corpse Skull to the Chanter's Board for the Templars to study. Return 18 to receive an additional bonus. Like, I remember there being corpse stuff here, and I don't think we found any when we slogged through this tower here. That's interesting. So the Chantry has unwittingly provided an opportunity to disrupt the plans of Trader's Loghain. Head to the location marked on the map to intercept his forces, and go to the region marked on the map to see if there is anyone left to rescue Darkspawn invaders. Alright. Deliver the letters of conscription to the remaining conscripts, Redcliffe, Lothering, and Denerim Alienage. So we already got the guy in Lothering. Find the remaining deserters and deal with them as you see fit. Return to the Blackstone Regulars with 3 bundles of guild supplies to receive your reward. Deliver 4 letters of condolences to the recently widowed Lorana near Lake Calenhead, Orania, and okay, we got it. Obviously, we need to go to Redcliffe and seek out our Eamon. We still need to gain Orzamar's aid and battle the Blight and Nature of the Beast. We need to find Dalish clan, a Dalish clan, and then we got Rigby's will that we got from the Kakari Wilds. And of course we got Shale stuff and return to Ostagar. Alright, well that works. I mean, when I picked up them quests, I did pause it, so if you were interested, go back to them episodes where I picked it up, because it's obviously a little bit different. But anyways, let's go ahead and tackle some of these codexes here. I'm going to read the most interesting ones that I think we kind of just a good little refresher that we can have together here. So let's read Archdemon. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer, the sleeping dragon Dumont. Their taint twisted even the false gods, and the whispers awoke at last, in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon the nations of the world. The first blight. The Renities 8-7. The false dragon gods of the Winter Imperium lie buried deep within the earth, where they have been imprisoned since the Maker cast them down. No one knows what it is that drives the Darkspawn in their relentless search for the sleeping old gods. Perhaps it is instinct, as moths will fly into torch flames. Perhaps there is some remnant of desire for vengeance upon those who goaded the Magisters to assault the heaven. Whatever the reason, when Darkspawn find one of those ancient dragons, it is immediately affected by the taint. It awakens, twisted and corrupted, and leads Darkspawn in a full-scale invasion of a land, a blight. Ash Wraith, this is an interesting one. Legend has it that when Andraste's ashes were taken into hiding, some of her closest disciples gave themselves into the fire, that their restless souls might remain to guard her final resting place forever. Whether they are spirits of Andraste's disciples or merely fate spirits, the temple that houses the sacred urn is filled with wraiths. Created from burnt corpses, an Ash Wraith is a powerful and enormous opponent able to lash and smother while being immune to most physical attacks. Even successfully dispersed, it can reform at a later time. Magic is the only real way to fight such a creature, wind and ice attacks being the most useful. They are capable of creating whirlwinds that are devastating to anyone unfortunate enough to get close, and their touch leaves a person drained. Alright, let's look for some of the juicy stuff here, man, because some of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory, obviously. Like, I'm gonna click on some of these and get them out of the picture here. Rat. But some of these I do want to come back and read. Let's go down to something interesting like the Dalish stuff, huh? Where would the Dalish stuff be? It wouldn't be books and songs. Magic and religion? So here's the Dalish stuff. We did end up reading most of the Dalish stuff at the camp, but there was... I really wanted to read... What the hell is it? The stuff about Orlathon, damn it. That's probably culture and history. Politics in Ferelden. The Hogs in Ferelden. Ostagar, the Kunari. God damn, where is it? Did we not get anything on Orlathon then? I could have swore we did. Maybe I already read it then. Orlathon Part 1, Orlathon Part 2, I must have already read it. Because it's already grayed out, then I did read it. Alright, that's fine. Then... let's go ahead and read some more interesting stuff then. The Aenar sounded... where the hell is that at? Okay, the Aenar. When the Imperium occupied the area that is present-day Ferelden, they had 2 sites dedicated to magical experimentation. At the extreme ends of the Imperial Highway, the southern one was the fortress of Ostagar, which looked out over the Kakari Walls. The northern one was Aenar, although the exact location is now secret known only to a handful of Templars. Whatever it was, the Tevinter were trying to discover at Aenar, their work was never completed. The fortress was overrun by disciples of Andraste upon hearing the news of her death. According to legend, it was a massacre eerie silent for the invaders caught the mages while all but one of them were in the Fade. The site was left structurally sound but spiritually damaged. Possibly because of this, the Chantry chose to put it to use as a prison. Accused Maleficarum and apostates are held in the confines of Aenar. Those who have powerful connection to the Fade, and particularly to demons, will inevitably attract something across the veil, making the guilty somewhat easier to tell from the innocent. So that's my sister Patrine. The Imperial Chantry is an interesting one. There are those who would tell you that the Chantry is the same everywhere as it is here, that the divine in Valrio reigns supreme in the eyes of the Maker, and that this fact is unquestioned throughout Thedas. Do not believe it. The Maker's second commandment, magic must serve man and not rule over him, never held the same meaning within the ancient Tevinter Imperium as it did elsewhere. The Chantry there interpreted the rule as meaning that mages should never control the minds of other men, and that otherwise their magic should benefit the rulers of men as much as possible. When the clerics of Tevinter altered the chant of light to reflect the interpretation of the commandment, the divine in Valrio ordered the clerics to revert to the original chant. They refused, claiming corruption within Valrio, an argument that grew until 487 Towers. The Chantry in Tevinter elected its own legitimate and uncorrupted divine Valhall, who was not only male, but also happened to be one of the most prominent members of the Tevinter Circle of Magi. This black divine was reviled outside Tevinter, his existence in offense to the Chantry in Valrio. After 4 exalted marches to dislodge these rebels, all that the Chantry in Valrio accomplished was to cement the separation. While most aspects of the Imperial Chantry's teachings are the same, prohibitions against magic have been weakened and male priests have become more prevalent. The Circle of Magi today rules Tevinter directly ever since Archon Normaron was elected in 734 Storm, directed from the ranks of the enchanters. To great applause from the public, he dispensed with the old rules forbidding magic from taking part in politics, and within the century, the true rulers within the various imperial houses, the mages, took their place openly within the government. The Imperial Divine is now always drawn from the ranks of the First Enchanters and operates as Divine and Grand Enchanter both. This is utter heresy to any member of the Chantry outside of Tevinter, a return to the days of the Magisters which brought the blights down upon us, but it exists, and even though we have left the Tevinter Imperium to the mercies of the dread Kunari, still they have endured. Further confrontation between the Black Divine and our so-called White Divine is inevitable. Like, you can't shun, like, Tevinter for having their own religion, man. Like I don't understand how the White Divine and all the followers down here can sit here and shun them just because the guy's got magic. Yes, I mean they may result to the old days of the whole Magisters and such, but most people, I would say, learn from their mistakes. But then again, maybe they're learning from their mistakes and trying to do it again. It's like damn if you do, damn if you don't, but they still can't shun them for their beliefs over the other beliefs. That kind of just doesn't sit right with me. I said before that I do like the Chantry and I do feel like it has a place to a certain extent. It just needs to be reformed. And obviously we know in later games, stuff comes up about the Chantry that is quite interesting. Let's just say that. But, alright, let's move on to something else that's very damn interesting. Sacred Ashes of Andraste. Only one person witnessed Mathrath's betrayal, Havard the Aegis, a childhood friend of Mathrath. He accompanied his chief to the meeting with the Tevinters, not realizing what was planned. When he understood that Mathrath was given Andraste over to be executed, Havard unwillingly to draw swords against his friend and liege, placed himself between Andraste and the Tevinter soldiers. The Tevinters struck him down and Mathrath left him for dead. Gravely wounded, Havard made his way to the gates of Minrathous to stop the execution. When he reached it, the terrible deed was already done. The armies on the plains, long since dispersed, Havard, cursing his weakness, gathered the earthly remains of Andraste that had been left to the wind and rain. When his fingers touched a pile of ash, his ears filled with song, and he saw before him the vision of Andraste, dressed in cloth made of starlight. She knelt at his side, saying, "The Maker shall never forget you, so long as I remember." The song faded and the vision within it, and Havard was alone, but his wounds were healed with new strength. Havard took up the ashes of Our Lady and bore them back to the lands of the Alamari. Fearing that Mathrath's supporters would defile them, Havard took the ashes of Andraste to a secluded place high in the mountains, and there he carved from the living rock an urn to hold them. Time passed and the whereabouts of the urn faded from memory. Perhaps it was the Maker's will that only the most worthy should find his beloved's final resting place. Now we have only the legends such as that of the Chevalier Lothair, who quested to find the urn to save his dying daughter, and either found it in time to cure her, or returned 100 years after her death. The ballad ends less than certain on that point. So Myth and Legends by Brother Genitivi. So I want to know, let me know if you guys can remember back to the video if we did end up reading the stuff about Arlathan. I'm pretty sure we did. But I guess I can go back and look at this stuff too for whenever we do another episode of the codex entries here, because I'm going to keep doing it until we at least get caught up on the majority of this stuff that is actually worth reading. I mean, everything is worth reading in its own way, but most of us, including myself, we've played this game many times and we know just about all this shit from to a T. You know what I mean? We don't even need to damn read it anymore. Let's do the Tevinter Imperium. The Imperium is more than a whatever the hell that word is, old slattern. Crouching in the far north of Thedas, drunkenly cursing at passerbys to recall her faded beauty. One can see that Minrathous was once the center of the world. The vestiges of her power and artistry yet stand, but they are buried in the layers of filth that the Imperium's decadence has accumulated over the ages. Magicracy, live in elegant stone towers, literally elevated above stench of the slaves and peasants below. The outskirts of Minrathous are awash in the sea of refugees turned destitute by the never-ending war between the Imperium and the Qunari. And yet the Imperium survives. Whether with sword or magic, Tevinter remains a force to be reckoned with. Minrathous has been besieged by men, by Qunari, by Andraste herself, and never fallen. Very freaking true. Okay, we're going to end it on Qunari because they were talking about Qunari. Anyone who travels far enough to the north will eventually encounter the Qunari. White-haired, bronze-skinned giants, a head again taller than men, with frighteningly calm demeanors and a sort of sparking fire behind their eyes. For quite a long time, people believed that all Qunari were male, or that their men and women were simply indistinguishable. It was not until the Blessed Age that diplomats from Yvain were allowed, however briefly, to visit Parvalan. And there they discovered the Qunari females do exist in abundance, and are quite easily recognized. The Ravani say that Qunari have certain kindness to them, or at least a conspicuous lack of cruelty. Although I do not observe the creatures closely enough to evaluate their character. So that's my brother Genetivi. So the Qunari stuff, interesting that we're reading about Tevinter and Qunari stuff, because I believe a lot of that stuff is going to finally get, how do we say it, shown in the next game, at least in the future games. Let's say the future games, plural, hoping that they make a bunch of more games, you know. But I'm looking forward to seeing that, especially how the way Trespasser and everything ended, and stuff like that, which I cannot wait to get that stuff. But yeah, that's a little bit of codexes here. I will probably read a bunch more, you know what I mean, when we come back, and we'll keep going. I might throw some side stuff, it's a little extra video. It's only supposed to be, you know, a small video, and here it is, ends up being long. Once you get to talking, you just can't stop, my friends. Anyways, when we come back, we'll dive back into more of the story mode. Until the next, I guess, Codex episode, or the next regular episode, take it easy, my friends. See y'all then.